If you're at 25 to 30% body fat, but you want to get down to 10 to 15% body fat, there's gonna be 5 key things that you want to do. I'm gonna teach you them in today's video. And if you hang around to the end, I guarantee you'll be getting down to 10 to 15% body fat in the next 3 to 6 months. And it's a lot easier than you think. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Rich here at Fit Future Brotherhood, and I'm so excited for this video because I'm not gonna hold back with value. I'm gonna screen share basically what to eat, how to eat, what workouts to do. You're gonna know exactly the 5 key things you need to do, and it's gonna be so simple as well. If you plug and play these 5 things, I guarantee you'll get down to 10 to 50% body fat in 3 to 6 months maximum. Hope you're ready because I'm gonna jump into point number 1 right now. So let's get into it. All right, point number 1. And before we kind of really dive into the eating and the workouts, all that fun stuff, you need to do this because most guys mess this up. And this is where we go off the rails. And I'm going to elaborate what I mean here. But the very first thing you need, if you want to get down to 10 to 50% body fat, is you need to have a clear and set game plan. So what do I mean by that? Most of the time, we just want to say, I want to lose X amount of fat, or I want to get down to 10 to 50% body fat. That's a great start, but you gotta get specific, and I'll kind of break it down a little bit more in detail here. It'd be like a football coach going to the game saying, I want to win the football game. Okay, cool, but how are you gonna win the football game? Like, what kind of structure systems are you gonna do? Now, you gotta ask yourself the same questions, and some questions you should be asking yourself, and even writing these down right now as I kind of talk you through it is, how many workouts are you doing per week? Which we're all gonna really break down, so don't worry, that's kind of the point of the video. What nutrition protocol you're doing, which we're going to break down, how much protein, where are you working out, is the gym at home, how long is this goal going to take you? Think of every single thing you can think of, how you're going to fit into your busy schedule, what times are you going to work out, every single thing you can think of. If you have an injury, like how are you going to work around it? All those things you need to write down, because if you just go into it saying, I want to lose X amount of fat, or I want to get down to 10 to 50% body fat, then you have a goal, but you don't have a path towards that goal. And this is where most guys fail, because once we kind of veer off track a little bit, it's hard to get back on track. Now that I set the stage for you, have that goal. I want you to write those things down for the questions. Now we can really jump into the fun stuff, talk about eating, workouts. So let's get to point number 2 coming up next. All right, guys, the second thing you need to do is you have to have a nutrition protocol. There's 2 methods we really teach in our Fit Future Brotherhood program, the Weekend Warrior and the Eat Like a King. I'm going to basically screen share for you our Weekend Warrior and how to really set it up. And this will be for you if you want to have some of those favorite foods on your weekend without really ever feeling restricted. If this isn't for you and you want another option that I can teach you, just comment Eat Like a King below, and maybe I'll teach that on another video for another day. But let's get into it right now. I'm gonna get my laptop, I'll screen share for you so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So basically what I'm gonna do is, you need 2 things to set up this Weekend Warrior method. A couple things, but the main 2 things. You gotta get your calories and you gotta get your protein. So how many calories to eat per day? What you basically do, so simple. Take your body weight in pounds and times by roughly between 9 to 11. General thumb, times 10 works well. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you times by 10, it'd be 2,000 calories per day roughly you should be having. Now, it's going to depend on how much you move. So let's say you walk a lot, you have a very active job, or you're just an active person, then maybe you want to take your body weight times by 11, because of course, if you eat more, if you walk more, you're going to need to eat more to compensate for that. If you have a very sedentary job and you don't walk a lot, then maybe you want to times by 9. But for the most of us, for most people, body weight in pounds times 10 is a pretty good place to start to set up your calories. More on this in a minute. The second thing you're going to need to do is set up your protein. And this is a very simple format we love to do, and it's very straightforward. Take your body weight in pounds and times by 0.8. So if you weigh 200 pounds, times 0.8, and that's going to be 160 grams basically per day that you need. Now, this is the hard part for a lot of guys, I think. If 160 grams, let's say for 200 pounds, seems like a lot, then you just work your way up to that number. Maybe do 100 grams one week, 120 the next, and you slowly try to get up to that number. So that's your calories, that's your protein. Now we're gonna talk basically how to basically track and how to set this up into a weekly structure, which is so cool, and you're gonna see that in just 1 second here. If you want the videos to track, if you don't know how to do this, just let me know, and I'll send you basically this for you, and you can just click the videos. And again, this is why I say the Weekend Warrior is not for every single person, because some people just don't like tracking calories. If you don't like tracking calories, then you're gonna want to eat like a king. And if you want to eat like a king, just let me know, and I'll make another video for you on another day. But basically, that's gonna tell you the 4 steps in terms of how to track, how to weigh your food, stuff like that. The step number 4 is gonna be structuring your week. This is the cool part. And there's really 2 ways you can do this. And this is kind of like the Weekend Warrior method, and I'll explain what it is. So option number 1, you can basically keep the calories and protein consistent all 7 days. So again, let's say you're 200 pounds, you times by 10, 2,000 calories, 106 grams of protein. You can hit that number every single day. So 2,000 calories, 106 grams of protein every single day. Or you could structure it where you have a higher calorie day one day of the week, but the other calories for the other 6 days, you compensate a little bit lower. This is the cool part about it, because as long as you don't go over in your calories for the week, or in that case, then that's all that simply matters. And I want you to think of that as like a budget. So let's say you have like $700 to spend, like let's say for shopping. How you spend the $700 is up to you. You can spend $100 every single day. Or let's say maybe on Saturday you want to spend $300, but the other 6 days you have to compensate to make sure you don't go over that budget. It's the same thing for calories. I hope that makes sense. For protein, we can't do that, but for calories, you can. And I'm going to show you a real life example right now. So again, option number one, this is very straightforward. It's just basically the same every single time, as you kind of see here. Option two, this is how you can set it up. And again, this is assuming you're 200 pounds, so obviously you'd adjust it to your body weight. But basically, what you do is you bump up the calories on Saturday. So let's say you're going out with your friends, your family, you have a few drinks, like whatever it may be. I don't know, that's what I do. You have one higher calorie Saturday. And what I basically do is I bump it up 1,200 calories on the Saturday. But to compensate for that, I decrease it 200 calories for the other 6 days. So minus 200 for the Sunday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. But the difference is still the same. It's still 14,000 calories in total. Do you see how I kind of got there? As long as you fit your calorie number, it doesn't matter how you get it. And I want you to think of it as a weekly average and not a daily average. This is what I do. This is what our members do. And it works so good. And it's so simple as well. I'll take you through a couple of pros and cons here. It's less extreme, so you're not going to feel as hungry. And it's easy to hit daily protein targets. This is more like the consistent way if you did it, like this 7 days straight. If you did more the weekend warrior method, the pro is it's a little bit more room for flexibility on a higher calorie day. But you can also indulge a little bit more on the higher calorie day. So kind of cool that comes along with it. The con, I will say, so if you do decide to set this like higher calorie day structure is, you're going to feel hungry in the other 6 days because you obviously got to lower the calories just a little bit, nothing too crazy. It makes it hard to get the protein in the other 6 days. And sometimes for some guys, it's harder to get back on track after that high calorie day. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. You can pick one of those two options. And again, if counting calories is not for you, then just let me know and comment "eat like a king" below. And I can teach you our second method if you want that as well, because there's definitely not a one-size-fits-all protocol. Now we get to number two. Hopefully nutrition makes sense. Of course, if you guys have any questions, let me know. We're going to move on to point number three now. So let's get into it. All right, guys, now that you know nutrition, we're going to talk about workouts, and I'll kind of talk you through it a little bit. Then I'm going to screen share exactly what I did with the nutrition, and I'll talk you through our 4-day split that you can basically plug and play into your routine. The very first thing you need to know, and I talk about this a lot on my channel, is you don't want to focus on burning calories. So if you're doing a lot of cardio and stuff like that, we're going to make a bit of a change here for you. You want to shift your mindset from burning calories to actually protecting your muscle in a fat loss phase. You do that, and you get fat loss opposed to weight loss. Because the last thing you want to do is lose a lot of muscle. And even Scott, what you're going to see right here, he made that one change. Like he did a lot of cardio, but he couldn't get rid of that stubborn belly fat. We really just kind of focused on protein and lifting weights, obviously with our calorie deficit. And we just saw such a big difference in terms of his body composition. Now I'm going to pull my laptop here, and you're just going to see the pictures to the side. I'm going to basically show you the 4-day work split, or the 4-day split we have. This will be for the home program though. If you guys do want a gym program, I want no stone unturned. We do have it as well. Just comment gym program, and I'll just send you a document, or I'll just make another video one day because I want to make sure you guys know exactly what to do. So again, comment gym if you are working at a gym, and I can give you basically the sample program. But if you are doing it at home, this will be exactly for you. If you're in the gym, you can just feel free to comment below and then skip through the next part. But basically what you're going to do is day number 1. So hopefully you can see it on the side right now. This is basically like a sample upper body workout, and this is very vanilla. Like this is week 1. We get obviously more exotic stuff, but this is how I would really structure it, especially if you're around 25-30% body fat. Bench, chest press, renegade row, incline press, one arm row, skull crusher, dumbbell, tricep pullover. You'll see kind of 3 by 8 to 12. Basically just means 3 sets of 8 to 12. So you do like whatever, 10 reps, take a break, 10 reps, take a break, 10 reps, move on to the next exercise. Pretty straightforward. And if you do want the demos too, again, just let me know. I don't want to leave any stone unturned. So anything you guys need, just comment below and I got your back. I promise you. I want to make sure this is very straightforward for you. But this would be day number 1. You can feel free to take a picture or I can just basically send you the whole document with the hyperlinks. But that's day number 1 you can do. And it's an upper body, lower body split, by the way. Day number 2, we start off with suitcase squats, single leg hip bridge, reverse lunges, sumo deadlift, body weight leg extensions, and then wall sit. So basically a bit of a balance between one squat movement, one glute movement, one lunge movement, and then one kind of deadlift movement. And then the other couple we kind of plug and play. This is going to be more quad based with the leg extensions of the wall sit, but you'll see basically in day number 4, it's a little more glute / hamstring based. And again, 3 by 8 to 12, we keep it pretty straightforward. Don't need a ton of reps either. Some people think you need like 15, 20 reps. You don't need that. It's okay for burnout sometimes, but you want to focus mostly on just getting stronger in the gym. And that's basically day number 2 you can do. We usually take, so let's say you start on Monday, you do this for Monday, Tuesday, you probably take Wednesday off ideally, if not the end of the world. Start back Thursday, and then we got day 3. So this is kind of like an upper body version again. And it's just different exercises from Monday, because we want to make sure we change things up. So like push-ups we have, neutral grip row, just like a palm facing in a row, chest fly, reverse fly, seated bicep curl, hammer curl. So a little more tricep on the Monday. Now we got a little more bicep on the Thursday. And you'll see the rep scheme is the same right here. And yeah, that's day number 3. And I'll show you day number 4 right here that you can do. And day number 4 is back to lower body, of course. And then we have a goblet squat. We have a lateral step down, which is good for knee glute stability. Romanian deadlift, get the glutes and hamstrings again. Forward lunge, a little more quad based compared to the reverse lunge. Hamstring walkout, like I said, a little more hamstring glute base here. And the reverse plank hold, which is more hamstrings and even lower back as well. In a good way lower back, not a bad way lower back. And that's basically week number 1. And what we basically do is we keep the first 4 exercises the same for each workout for 6 weeks. And then we change up the last 2 or 3. That way there's a bit of variety to it. You don't get bored with the same movements over and over again. So hope that helps. Like I said, if you want more info, if you want gym, comment gym. I can do it in the next video, or I can send you a document. And or if you want the exercise links, I can basically just send you this exact document and you can just access it and it'll be right there for you. Hope this helped, guys. This is basically how we set up our weekly strength sessions. I'll get to point number 4 in a second here. But what you want to do is, well, one quick note, make sure you lift heavier weights as the weeks progress. So let's say in a goblet squat, you did like 40 pounds. Maybe the next week you do 45 pounds. You always want to make sure you're progressively overloading those movements and you're trying to get stronger while you do that. Okay, that's point number 3. I talked for too long there. We got 2 more points. Let's get into it coming up next. All right, because the 4th thing you need is you got to manage and know expectations, which I'm going to talk to in 1 second, and you got to know how to get over a fat loss plateau. And I give you 5 things to get over that, because trust me, it's going to happen eventually. All right, so what do I mean by knowing and managing expectations? So when you're going to a fat loss journey, like maybe you're brand new, maybe you've done it for a little bit, you've lost maybe fat, you've gained it back, and you're trying to get back on the horse, whatever it may be, you got to know how the journey looks like, because if you don't know, then you're simply going to get frustrated and you're going to go off track. So what do I mean by that? So let's say it's like week number 1, like you're going into it. The very first couple weeks, you're going to lose, most likely, assuming you're doing everything right, a good number of pounds on the scale. So the thing about that, though, is it's not all fat. Actually, the majority of that weight, when you actually lose it, is mostly weight loss and not fat loss. So what I mean by weight loss is like your carbs. When your carbs go down, the glycogen goes down, which means the number of the scale kind of goes down because there's water retention to it. The sodium / salt goes down. Maybe you lose a little bit of fat. Maybe you lose a bit of muscle. And all those things contribute to the number of the scale going down, especially the first couple weeks. But that's different than fat loss. But after the first few weeks, this is where fat loss and weight loss starts to slow down. And this is where you might be getting frustrated. But what I'm trying to tell you and why I'm saying this is it's completely normal. So let's say after the first 2-3 weeks, like you lose, let's say 8 pounds, whatever it may be, but then you notice like you're just not maybe losing 2 pounds a week anymore. That's normal, because what happens is our body goes through something called metabolic adaptation, and essentially it's trying to hold on to our fat stores, because it's like, what are we doing? Like, why are we losing fat right now? Because it wants to keep you alive and warm and insulated, all that fun stuff with fat. So just know that the first few weeks you're gonna lose a lot of weight, but after that it's gonna get harder, and over 1-2 months it's going to get harder as you continue. But if you do the right things, you will continue to going forward and you're going to over those plateaus. which we're going to talk about now. Now, let's say you're doing every single thing correctly, but you're still stuck. The number of the scale won't move. So let's say you lost like 15 pounds in 2 months, but now you're like stuck and you can't get down to any more weight. There's 5 things you can do, but make sure you're dialed in. Before you do these plateau things I'm going to talk about, make sure it's actually a true plateau, and you're not going to Denny's at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, oh, I can't, I don't know why I'm losing fat. So what you basically want to do, if you're truly stuck, there's 5 levers that you can pull. The very first thing you can do is you can decrease your calories. The second thing you do is you can increase your steps. The third thing you can do is increase your protein. The fourth thing you do is you can increase the amount of workouts you do. And the fifth thing you do is you can add a bonus cardio session. So those are 5 levers you can pull. And I'll probably say in order from 1 to 5, that's the order I would say in terms of quick lever / most importance. So if you're looking to drop like a quick few pounds, you decrease your calories a bit. You increase your step count. After those 2 things, there's a major drop off. So just know that, right? So managing and knowing expectations, the first few weeks are going to be tough. Their fat loss is going to start to slow down. Don't get frustrated by it. It's 100% normal. And if you're truly stuck at a fat loss plateau and you've done everything correctly, then pull those 5 levers, not all at once, maybe pull 1 or 2 at once at the same time. And then you'll probably start to see the number of the scale go down. Your body composition will get better, and you'll be well on your way to the 10 to 15% body fat. All right, we got 4 things down. We got number 5. Hope you're ready to get into it. Let's go. All right, guys, let's recap the 4 things we talked about, and I'm going to put number 5, which is very important also, so make sure you don't miss out. Remember, the very first thing you need is you got to set that game plan. Don't just say, I want to get down to 10 to 15% body fat. You want to have measurable and actionable steps that you can go and take to get towards that goal. The second thing you need to do is set up your nutrition plan. So remember, I went over the weekend warrior method system for you, but again, if that's not for you and you don't want to count calories, just comment Eat Like a King below, and I'll either send you a document or maybe I'll do a video actually on another day that might be a little bit better, that I can kind of really break it down for you. The third thing is set up your workouts. So remember, shift your mindset from burning calories to protect your muscle in the gym. And I gave you the full laydown and the home program. If you want it, just comment workouts. If you want the gym one, because we have obviously a gym program as well, just comment gym workouts and I'll send that to you also. The 4th thing I just kind of talked about is managing and setting expectations, and the 5 things you need to do to get over a fat loss plateau. Which leads us to number 5 is I call these the hidden 5. And we're going to break these down. We'll take about 30 seconds for each one. The very first thing you need to focus on is sleep. Believe me, if you don't focus on sleep, everything I just talked about becomes so much harder, because I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. When you sleep like crap, you don't want to really make good decisions the next day. You don't want to work out. You want to probably have fast food. You want to be lazy. Sleep sets the foundation for the day. And make sure you don't skip out on this part. I'm not a sleep expert. I can't tell you exactly what to do, but I just try to get more sleep the best you can. The second thing is going to be stress. This is overlooked as well. If we're constantly chronically stressed out, it makes losing fat a lot harder. Stress leads to more poor decisions, inaction. And there's a bit of a study too in a book called The Hunger Brain. They really weren't sure why it was happening, but people with higher stress hormones, so the cortisol hormone, for whatever reason, they couldn't lose as much fat, and the body's kind of held onto fat a little bit more. So make sure your stress is dialed in the best you can. Like, I'm not a therapist, but do the best you can to get your stress levels down, whatever it may be. The third thing is steps. So get your step count up. This is an often overlooked one as well. A lot of times we just focus on decreasing calories, but we don't talk about increasing step count, because weight loss is calories in versus calories out. We can increase calories out to kind of help with that formula. The 4th thing you need to have is accountability. This is so often overlooked by guys as well. We try to do it by ourselves, and it just typically leads to doing okay to start, but then we start getting back into old habits. So whether it's like doing it with a friend, your family, like a partner, getting a coach, whatever it might be, you would have some sort of accountability to make sure you go on this journey with, because it's so important and it's often overlooked. And the very 5th and the final thing you need, and this is often overlooked as well, is you got to have a deep reason and a deep purpose to why you want to accomplish this goal. Now, I talk about this all the time in other videos, so I don't want to elaborate too much here, but if you just say, I want to lose 10 to 50% body, or I want to get down to 10 to 50% body fat, but you don't have a deep reason, your motivation is going to run pretty dry. Like, I don't know about you, right now outside, it feels like minus 30. So if you don't have a deep reason why or a deep purpose, you're not going to want to go outside, get your step count up when it's minus 30, drive the gym in the cold. You got to have a very deep reason and deep purpose of why you're doing it. So, and I want you to really think deep while I say this. So what could it be? Maybe it's like you want to have more confidence in social situations. Maybe you want to feel more attractive around your wife. Maybe you have to do this to reverse your pre-diabetes. Like whatever it is, I want you to find a deep reason and write it down because no pain equals no gains. So make sure you do that. Like I said, that's an overlooked one as well. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Like I said, I want no stone unturned for you. I know I said like comment below if you want this, comment below this, comment below if you want this. I'm truly serious. Like if you want anything like gym workouts, the thing I just talked about, if you want that program where you can hyperlink, if you want the things where it teaches you how to set up your calories and count calories, anything you want, comment below. I got your back, and I want to leave no stone unturned. This video is probably released on Friday. Big Bills game on Sunday. If any Bills fans are here watching this, let me know. Bills Mafia as well. Big game against the Chiefs. Let's take down Mahomes and the defending champs and the refs also. Wink, wink. But that's it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for going a little long. I just want to really go in detail to make sure you guys knew exactly how to take these actionable steps. Let's dominate 2025. Let's get down to that 10 to 50% body fat. We'll see you guys soon in the next video.